brought to you by Quaker State. Sensible technology. What more do you need to know? By ESPN Video.
Morning, guys.
Get your officially licensed NASCAR videos from ESPN Video. By Suzuki, makers of fine motorcycles and ATVs. And by the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts.
Probably was the last one to ever go green, start to finish.
Back at Michigan International Speedway, what a crowd today for NASCAR Busch Series action. They were lined up at 7 o'clock this morning to get in here. We're going to ride along with 7 different drivers today, Benny.
Shane Hall starts back in 39th in the Big A Auto Parts onboard camera. Ed Barrier back in the 38th spot, the Lear Corporation onboard camera. Let's go to Randy LaJoy, the Bob Evans Restaurant. That's my kind of onboard camera. Start 23rd. Patty Moise will carry an onboard today in the Rhodes Furniture onboard. She'll start 19th. Mike McLaughlin, the Goulds Pumps onboard camera. As we ride inside his car, he will start 11th as he looks at Rick Mass. Kevin LePage, Channel Lock onboard camera in the 7th position. And we're not finished. We have Matt Kenseth, the Lycos onboard camera. Kenseth will start in 6th spot.
Take a look at today's starting field. There are 30 Chevrolets, 9 Fords, and 4 Pontiacs comprising the 43-car starting lineup. Our race analysis, we told you it's 200 miles, 100 laps, a track record, 169.571, held by Mark Martin, set back 3 years ago, 1995. The pit window, 56 to 64 laps on fuel in the first, well over $500,000. Kyle, a lot of money, a lot of experience, but also some inexperience as they come to the green flag.
Yeah, the one good thing about this racetrack is it's plenty wide. You can find your own niche. At the start of the race is the most fancy part for any driver is to try to find your position in line. But this is a big enough racetrack, and there's enough experience up front that these guys will get taken off pretty good and be a good race today.
All right, 31-year-old Jeff Burton. One win this year came at Richmond, Virginia on the 3/4 mile. What a great shot. What a tremendous crowd on hand as a safety car makes the hard left in a field of 33. Head down for Carl Simmons to wave the green flag.
You ready? You ready? Green flag. Go.
Like he got a little bit loose or pushing, had the car to carry the car up the hill, slowed him down just a little bit as we see Elton Sawyer take over that 3rd spot, and Kenseth is in 2nd.
But Elton Sawyer looked in his mirror and realized that Dale Earnhardt Jr. was coming on the inside, bringing Trickle along in a tow.
Now, this is a strange racetrack, even though it's the type of racetrack it is to let off, get in the corners. The draft is just as important here as it is at Talladega or something like that. You see 2 cars get too wide. The cars in front of them will pull away, or the cars behind them will catch up quick.
It's a 6th-place car. And look at now, we have got ourselves a real race back in this group. There's Phil Parsons on the bottom. Herbie Sadler history of this.
They have run 3 wide for almost a lap and a half here, back in about 23rd, 24th, 25th position, and they are still 3 wide on that 2,200-foot back straightaway.
Kenseth, once again, looks on the inside of Jeff Burton. Can't make it. Meanwhile, here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 3 car to take over the 3rd spot, trying to get some grabs off Kenseth. I think he probably will, and here's Kenseth going into the lead.
Kenseth really got a good run off 4, where it looked like that Jeff Burton's car kind of pushed out next to the wall, or maybe is a little bit loose and chasing it. It's hard to tell at this point. But Kenseth got a good run. Thought about pulling back in behind him, then just decided to turn left and drive by him on the inside.
Side-by-side battle down the backstretch. Kevin LePage on the inside of Elton Sawyer. That is for position at the 4th spot. Now LePage will have the spot, but here comes Sawyer back in the Barbasol Ford. Now he will full fall in line right behind and try to make a move to the inside.
Now here comes Jeff Burton back to the front. Matt Kenseth, Jeff Burton let Matt Kenseth lead that lap to get 5 bonus points. And then Kenseth said, okay, I've got my 5 bonus points. That was just a gift from Jeff Burton to Matt Kenseth.
And he knew he better lead before the 3 car got by him, because Earnhardt, who's trying to beat him for the title, isn't going to let him lead for any bonus points.
David Green is being passed by Mark Martin. Here we go. Here comes Earnhardt Jr. He's going to get those bonus points this time for the line.
My heavens, what strength. Here comes Burton back. Now he'll fall right in behind Earnhardt Jr.
I think you can bet Burton didn't let Earnhardt Jr. lead that race. He may have let Kenseth, but he wasn't letting Earnhardt Jr.
No. You know, last year at this race was the first time we saw Dale Earnhardt Jr. in a Busch car. He was very, very impressive. Finished in 7th place. And since then, each race that we've seen him out, he gets more and more impressive.
Yeah, I think what impressed everybody last year was he was so incredibly smooth at the age he was and the lack of experience, the amount of experience he had on a big racetrack. Like you said in the opener, this was the first racetrack over a half mile that he'd really been on, and he was just incredibly smooth. And I think with that, with the Winston Cup race or the Busch races he's run on bigger tracks this year, he's gotten better and better.
Well, here's 9th, 10th, and 11th spot. You saw the in 9th spot. That was the 64 car way down on the bottom of the racetrack.
Mike Dillon trying to take the spot away. Decides, well, I think I'll just back up a little bit because it's not a very good racetrack. And there we see Dale Jarrett on the inside of Dillon.
That's the white rain for Dale Jarrett trying to take over the 12th position. He's currently in 13th. Dillon in the 7th. Behind him is Bobby Hillin with a clean shower Chevy. Carter Braden Hillin slides up slightly in front of the 99 car. Glenn Allen has moved from his 5th starting spot all the way back to 14th here in just 7 laps. So possibly a problem with the Luxair Chevrolet.
Now it's still 98, and Dad is still with the FINA team. Not FINA, he's with the Kleenex team, still at base though. FINA is a co-team member.
That's the same race car that won here a year ago with Steve Clark. Will they do it 2 years in a row? We'll find out. With more Busch action when we come back.
Now I looked at the stats. We don't set the world on fire in this race, nor the next race, but the 3rd race. I think that I'm going to play. If I'm going to skip ahead, I will skip ahead. Because this is supposed to go green the entire race. There was some interesting comments below this recording, which I could actually look at right now. You can hear my coffee percolator cooking, but I'm impatient. I took it out early. I have my coffee. Let's see. This had some interesting comments. Right here it said, August 15th, 1998 saw one of the most historic Busch races to date. This race was caution-free, the last one as of 2011, and all 43 starters finished 92% of all the laps run. There were no accidents or mechanical failures. All cars finished the race. Other Michigan stats from the 90s. This was the 2nd fastest race ever. Mark Martin won the 95 race in 42 less seconds and stands the fastest from 95 to 99. There were only 3 cautions for 12 laps in 5 years. in the 500 laps of racing. That was interesting. Then I also saw a comment down here. And this will remain the last ever caution-free race.
A great run in Bristol early in the year with a top 10 finish
In the second tier series, there's never been one in the Brian France era, and he'd never let one happen. Someone was kind of being snarky. Yeah.
Now he's finding pulling away a little bit more difficult than he thought it would be.
88 to go.
Jeff Burton, as Kyle said, is running that high line. He's making some speed on the outside.
Off the pace.
And look at this mess coming out.
Oh, a 3 wide. Looks like a parade lap. They're going about 180 miles an hour now. Into turn 1. That's Dale Jarrett, the white rain car number 32.
I think it's Ashton Lewis in the 89. Right on the bottom of the race.
This whole entire race is less like an hour and 1 minute. It's crazy.
Wow. Look at this. There's Andy Santerre on the bottom. And I guess Tracy Wesley, that him on the outside, decided that he liked when he was pretty abreast.
This is a good example of why most drivers love and hate the race at Michigan all at the same time. Because you get to racing and you don't know where everybody's at, and you're 3 and 4 wide, and you can run wherever you want to.
Shots from high above Michigan Speedway showing you exactly what Kyle Petty and Vinnie Parsons are talking about, how wide this track is, courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil in our Pennzoil Copter Cab.
And we see Shane Hall's Big A Auto Parts as he looks back at Jeff Krogh and Santerre. I think that is back there in the 2 yellow cars. Krogh on our left, Santerre on our right.
About the fact that how wide this racetrack is, Kyle, that's good and bad. He said it's good in the fact that it's great competition for the fans to see, but they run so far from the walls. If you have a problem, it becomes a big one.
Yeah, if you have a problem in the corners here, it's a long way to the wall. And that's the problem with some of the racetracks that we've run, not only Michigan, California, Atlanta, a lot of places like that. That's why some of the guys seem to take some really hard hits this year. Skinner and those guys in Atlanta, some accidents in Texas and stuff. And that's the only bad part. And that's why I say, that's why people love and hate the race at Michigan. You love it because you can run 4 and 5 wide, but if anything happens, it could happen big.
As you watch this side-by-side battle between Ashton Lewis in the 89 and Lance Hooper in the WCW car, that's what we saw
One thing about
here on
an
Thursday,
all-green, no-accident race that I like, it truly shows the fastest car,
with the driver's side.
the fastest team, pit stops, the driver, everything. It shows the fastest that day. With 34th,
doing much better
running
last time. He
with
spoke with
Elliott
his wife and family who watched this battle for the lead.
I don't know why.
Jeff Burton tries to
Maybe motor. That's the only thing I can figure that would kill them at this track. They might have been putting a whole lot of everything into Randy because he was the previous champion, and that can happen sometimes. But that just, you know, if the car's set up, you can only go as fast as your cars.
All right, Bill Weber,
This
Jeff
is more
Burton
one
has
of
gone
them
back out
tracks.
front, but getting a challenge.
Power, momentum,
Clear.
right gearing.
And certainly not surprising that Burton is at the front of the field. In fact, look at those cars with Roush ties at the front of the field. Burton, of course, Matt Kenseth is a student of Mark
And I'm,
Martin
like,
and Jack Roush.
normal,
Then
I'm
further
gonna
back in the
commence.
38, Elvis Sawyer has a Roush engine in it, and he's being challenged right
Go
now by the
skip
60 of Mark
ahead.
Martin,
I
and
know
that's
it's
a
an
Roush
hour.
car as well.
It's only an
And
hour,
speaking
but
of the 60, Mark
the
says
next
the front
race
end was not sticking well in the early laps. Right now he starts to the inside
as well.
of Elvis
I'm
Sawyer.
probably going to do 3
The
quick
car's getting better.
races,
They
3
also did an
condensed
engine
races.
change this morning.
We'll go up to here. 20 laps of 100. He is running order. Burton, Kenseth, LePage, Jr.
Exciting Busch Series action before an incredible crowd at Michigan International Speedway. Our coverage coming up later today. Happy hour, 6 o'clock Eastern time
We'll see
on ESPN2. Tomorrow we'll kick it off with RPM today at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time on the Deuce. Then NASCAR today at noon Eastern. All setting the stage for our live.
We'll start here.
33 laps are complete.
All right.
Burton, our leader.
33 laps in. Burton, LePage, Kenseth, Earnhardt, Bonnie, Martin, Sawyer, Trickle, Madison, Waltrip. Looks like Junior might have moved this stuff up a little.
Kyle Petty is here. Benny Carson, Ray Dunlap, Bill Weber, yours truly, Jerry Plunk, bringing you live Busch Series action on the beautifully manicured Michigan International Speedway.
And see Jeff drove right in front of the leader. And see the second and third place adjustments and hope that the car.
Okay, what's going on here? We're pitting first, so apparently we're not liking things.
Brandon Joyce team here runs our team announced the third team for 1999 with the Michigan boy Andy Michner as the driver. Now Tim Feedua is a lap down, so he's going to make this early pit stop, change some tires.
Yeah, if you're losing that much time to the leader, you got to pit. That's Dad right behind the pit wall, standing right here.
This race continues under green. Who knows what might happen out there? It's going to be a 4-tire stop for Tim Feedua. These guys have had a great season already, winning a couple of races. They've been very, very good. He's down and away, and Feedua is headed back down.
Clear to the wall. All right, buddy, watch that pit road speed. Watch the pit road speed.
All right, Vic Kangas talking to his driver. 55 miles an hour on pit road. Car number 33 heads down. They put a round of light in that car. That Nathan Bucky was driving for James.
Okay, we got a little glimpse of our team.
Was given a 4-race suspension after the incident at South Boston, Virginia.
Anyone else
Mark
pitting?
Reed in the car number 37. He appealed the suspension, and that appeal was overturned this week. I guess a couple of days ago they were told.
As a general rule, Dad would pit. If he got lapped, he'd pit immediately because you're losing too much time to the leader, and if you can pit and get those extra 5 or 6 seconds back, you get back on the lead lap. See how I'm saying? But it's got to happen the right way, you know, like.
And he had a $5,000 fine.
See, the leaders are still running. When you come back out on new tires, you're as fast, if not faster, than the leader, and you can gain. You don't gain position necessarily, but you can gain seconds on the track.
In the track gear forward, stretching the mileage a little bit. We are 5 laps away from halfway as they watch in the Burton pit. Back with more from Michigan in just a moment.
It's Kim Burton right there.
Back at Michigan Speedway here in Brooklyn, the Pepsi 200, we approach the halfway point, just 2 laps away. Car number 31 is our leader, Jeff Burton. Now the second place car is Kevin LePage, driving Doug Taylor's Cadillac Chevy. There he is, and he has got a battle on his hands.
That's Matt Kenseth, the third place car that we're riding along with.
Yeah, it's the entry of Kenseth into the league. The race before this we watched was Jimmy Johnson's first Busch race. So it's like weird. It's like the second era of big drivers coming up.
An interesting observation while we were in commercial a moment ago, Benny, about the experience, the lack of experience currently in the top 10.
We're clear.
7 of the top 10 drivers currently are Winston Cup drivers. Earnhardt Jr., Matt Kenseth, and Elton Sawyer, the 3 regular Busch drivers in the top 10. The experience, when it comes to automobile racing, the more laps you make, the better you are. It's that simple.
Earnhardt Jr. And of those 3, Earnhardt Jr. has tested Winston Cup cars at Talladega. Elton Sawyer has been a test driver for Winston Cup team, and Matt Kenseth is a
Jr. talking to his
halfway lap, halfway.
And we're halfway already. Wow.
Let's go to Ray Dunlap.
Well, guys, now that we're past halfway and Jeff Burton has picked up the Gatorade money, they are thinking about coming in and pitting right away down here. Now, as Bill Weber told you, they could definitely go 60 laps, but what they're thinking is the car is handling so well for Jeff right now, that's exactly how they want it to handle at lap 100. So they're thinking maybe they come in between 51 and 55, get their fuel, and be good to go the rest of the way.
All right, we'll see if that plays out, Ray.
Sounds like a real good plan, huh?
Call. He is the crew chief on the Busch side for that track here for Ford. Brand new Billy S. car. They brought here new Ford Taurus for Jeff Burton.
Wow, here we go. We got a race going here now. Dale Jarrett, 32, and 32's coming to fifth. Almost turned in front of Kenny Schrader, and Jarrett comes down pit road, slows down to 55 miles per hour.
is the crew chief for that White Rain Ford. Waiting for Dale Jarrett to come down. They will probably put 4 tires on. Let's go to Ray.
Well, Doc, the White Rain Ford is in. They're going to the right side right now. They've got the right side rubber on. It'll be 2 cans of fuel here, so fuel mileage will not be an issue. We knew the Fords could go that way. Everybody can. But Dale Jarrett takes only right side tires.
How about that? Trying to make up some track position by not spending as much time in the pits as some of the other cars.
They were running at that time, probably 21st, 22nd, right on there, right in that pack. They were getting awfully close to being lapped, so 2 tires would gain him about 8 or 10 seconds on the racetrack that may keep him.
So with these guys on pit now, where does that put Feeder? Are we on the lead lap or are we still down one? Because we lost 2.
Ronnie Silver in the crew trying to get it full of fuel, and finally he's down on the way. Almost took the gas can and the man with him as he speeds back down pit road at 55 miles an hour.
The signal to go for these guys when the jack goes down. That's why the jack man still kept the car in the air, was because we're not through filling it with fuel. As soon as it's through and they get the signal from the catch can man, he releases the jack. That's the signal to go. There's Patty Louise coming down pit road, the Rhodes Furniture car.
It's a pretty decent
He's had a couple of good runs this year. Had a 10th at Bristol, has had a 12th place finish, and now the crew going to work there. Able to put 2 right side tires on that machine. Some trouble with the right rear, trying to get some extra lug nuts.
Still having trouble.
Brave, that's a 1/4-inch change both directions.
Down on the racetrack because the car had got
One on the wedge and one on the track.
Change 4 tires for Patty, so the clock's ticking away there. It'll be over 40 seconds probably before we're able to get the tire changed and get out. And 40.3, she is down and away.
Mike Gill in the car was running about the 11th spot. Is coming down pit road. There's the Ford gas automobile. Now to the attention of Dean Johnson and that crew to make that pit stop.
Let's go down to Bill Webb.
That's the reverse paint there.
Tracy Leslie on
black
pit
on
road.
red.
Of course, this is the home for Detroit Gasket. He's going to get right side tires, the fuel going in. As Ray pointed out, fuel mileage will not be a question here down the stretch. 4 tires for Dillon. Mike Dillon waiting for his left side tires. Car sitting on pit road, and now directly in front of him, Matt Kenseth will swing into his pit stall. Right side tires going on Kenseth. Tires undertaking car first. Here's Ray.
It is going to be a 4-tire stop for the Tanalock Chevrolet and Kevin LePage. They figure 4 tires may be the big payoff, and we expect Jeff Burton to come in next time. Now to Bill.
Kenseth returns to the track, 4 tires and fuel, and now Burton is on pit road, and he will make his stop, and probably his only stop, Ray.
That's exactly right, Bill. Just as we thought, lap 55, and Jeff Burton says this car is Jeff absolutely perfect. They finished 4th at Rockingham and at Vegas, 2nd at Darlington, and they won at Richmond. Can they do it today? Jeff Burton has led an awful lot of laps here today. It'll be a 4-tire change. Tommy Morgan and the crew, lots of fuel going in the track steer core, and down and away, Jeff Burton. A 4-tire stop.
See Bobby Labonte's still sitting there in the shell car. Now that's how we saw Burton lead. Now Labonte's able to lead, but he's got to run 55 miles per hour while Burton now is accelerating. So he's going to have about 10-second lead. Here comes Earnhardt Jr. Bill
Bobby
Weber.
Labonte's driving the 44. Usually Thomas Stewart drives that
Hasn't
one
had his biggest
this
problems.
season.
They've been on pit road. Earnhardt's going to get 4 scuffed tires. A lot of guys putting on sticker tires. Earnhardt going with scuffs. Waiting for his car to come all the way down pit road at 55 miles per hour. This is the same car that Steve Park drove to victory a year ago. It's also the same car Earnhardt has taken to victory lane twice this year. He wrecked it at Charlotte. They repaired it. He took it to California. He won there. Of course, that's a track very similar to this one here in Michigan. Right side tires going on. Again, 4 tires. The fuel going in. He's going to take a little one on the right side. Right front tire with a small hiccup. Now they come around to the left. Slap on the left tires. Left rear being bolted on. Left front is on. Fuel is in. Earnhardt is
Clear, go hard, go.
behind him. Dick Trickle is on pit road. Trickle getting left side tires. Fuel going in. They clean off the grill. Waiting on the left rear now. A long stop. Trouble with the gun, it looks like, on Dick Trickle's car. He's away. The reason Earnhardt Jr. took so long, they pulled a spring rubber out of the right front tire. That's why Earnhardt's stop was so long.
58. Now, keep in mind the numbers. If you watch Martin come down pit road, there's a 5-second difference between the pit stop and the car number 9 at 20 seconds and the car number 3 at almost 25. Ray Dunlap, Mark Martin is headed to you.
Well, Doc, I just asked Jimmy Finnegan. He said for sure they would go for 4 tires. Mark wants to have a good handling race car all the way to the finish, so expect a 4-tire stop this time. And they do have a wrench out in the back, so there will be a chassis adjustment. It looks like they're going to go to the track bar, and we'll see exactly which way he goes. They're going to go 2 rounds down on the track bar, and a 4-tire stop for the Winn-Dixie Ford and Mark Martin.
Kyle Petty, as you watch the left side car, got a problem with the left front. It is off the jack. The car fell off the jack, and now they're trying to pick the car up manually. There's no tire on the left front. Oh, trouble for Mark Martin. His pit stop's going to be about 30 seconds.
Bill Weber, Elton Sawyer coming in.
And he stayed out, led the race, and now Elton Sawyer will come to pit road. This team has really turned it around, as we pointed out in previous races, after they went to the Roush engines. Now Sawyer slides into his pit stall. He's getting 4 Goodyear sticker tires, and they will make a chassis adjustment. His car has been just a little bit tight. Sawyer pitted a long way from the wall. Now the air hose gets caught on the hood. And right on the left side, jack it up, clean off the grill. Top it off with fuel. Left side tires going on. A long stop.
Go, go, go.
Sawyer's out. And Randy
All
LaJoy.
clear. Hustle out. 4,000.
Michigan has not been a great racetrack for Randy LaJoy. They finished 10th here in 96 and 17th in 97. But they're in. They've got their pit stop, and Randy LaJoy is back in the race.
They might mention, as you watch those pit stops, the very first time that Elton Sawyer has led this year, as you watch LaJoy exiting the pits, was just a moment ago. He led a single lap for the first time. Unbelievably as good as the year Elton Sawyer has had, currently 6 of the points. He had not led a lap until today.
Got one out of gas. Get up high. Get up high. Get up high.
One out of
Bring it all
gas.
around.
Who's he talking about? Hermie Sadler, wasn't it? That's out of gas.
Good job, Randy. Good job.
Looks like he might be out of gas. And here comes the leader of the race. He also might be out of fuel. This is Nathan Bucky in the Lance Nascar. He's on pit road.
23-year-old Nathan Bucky driving, and there is Hermie Sadler, the 1993 Rookie of the Year. And Elliott Sadler is on pit road. There's 66 car. Let's go to Bill.
Elliott Sadler getting his tires. They make a track bar adjustment. They also change the wedge. This is only a 2-tire stop. Trying to pick up some time. Now he's got the fuel, and he's on his way. Ray Dunlap.
Well, it says Jeff Purvis on the race car, but it's Nathan Bucky inside, and they were not out of fuel. The car was running when they made it here. They're going to do right side tires only. They made a slight chassis adjustment. You see that they are...
It's stupid to do right sides only. I'm going to tell you why, because it takes you 14 plus seconds to do 2 cans of fuel. And you can change tires quicker. Unless you're only allotted a certain amount. You're only going to do 1 stop this day.
As you see, everyone has completed the cycle. All the pit stops are complete. And the leader, once again, that car right there, the track here for cars. For our pole sitter, Jeff Burton, trying to pick up his second win in 1998. His first win coming at Richmond earlier in the year. Back with more live Busch action after this. Back at Michigan International Speedway here in Brooklyn, Michigan, the Pepsi 200 just passed the halfway point. In fact, 66 laps are complete. We've got a Ford, a Chevrolet, and a Pontiac in the top 3. Can't get any more even than that. There is Jeff Burton, our leader, in the car number 9. Matt Kenseth being shown in second spot in the Light Coast Chevy for Robbie Reiser.
There he goes. The black car just going by.
There's a look at the youngster from Wisconsin. Impressive in his sophomore season with 2 wins, second in the point standings.
He's only about 2 3/4 seconds behind the leader, Jeff Burton.
Bobby Labonte subbing for Tony Stewart, who's out in Colorado to run the Indy Racing League event. There is Bobby. On the way, you'll be able to see the IRL event on ABC Sports Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. Next, Benny Parsons is the channel lock machine.
Kevin LePage had a pretty slow pit stop, and that's one reason he is falling back. He and Kansas were battling for position. And now LePage is about 7 seconds behind Kansas, and that's about how much time he lost on pit road. So
Where do we end up? We're not
That would be the
15.
fourth-place car. The fifth-place car is Dale Earnhardt Jr. You heard Bill Weber say that problem they had, it wasn't really a problem. The delay they had on the right front was to take a spring rubber out of the right front. And Kyle Petty, that cost them 5 seconds in the pits, but it should also help the car.
If it looked like a glitch in the pit stop, but that shows how good that pit stop
they
was.
still
It
lost
really
a
was.
lap.
They made a major chassis adjustment by pulling that rubber out. Right before
42-2.
they were talking on the radio. We caught the tail
We're
end
gonna
of
probably
Dale Earnhardt
finish
Jr. talking on the radio. He made the call to pull that rubber out. So that shows how much
What's next?
That shows how much his experience on this racetrack and how good a driver he is. He's making calls from the seat on chassis adjustment stuff, and they're listening to him.
It's another run.
All right, here's the car number 12 of Rick Mann. Back with more live Busch action in just a moment. Our Speed Road coverage of exciting Busch Grand National Series action, the Pepsi 200, is being brought to you by Daytona USA, the ultimate
Is run
motorsports
down in the
attraction.
corner.
looks like that Burton's car is a little bit faster.
That, along with the tires are getting older again. When you catch a car like that and you come up on them, the air affects your car a little bit different. You may be just a little bit careful. Not one of the
12 to go is
much,
still 33rd, 2
When
laps
he
to
gets
go.
to the racetrack, he's definitely a little bit faster than Bobby is. But Bobby's able to hang on to him pretty decent.
Started far back, no cautions. Not fast enough.
Left to go signal. Gotta wonder, he's gotten serious now. Pulled back to within a couple of car lengths.
One thing you talked about a minute.
You see Bobby Hillin Jr. trying to get by Elton Sawyer on the outside.
On the bottom, the slow car went high. Come on the
Oh,
bottom.
and it goes right
Come
by
on.
Michael Waltrip.
Clear high. Good job.
Wow.
Boy, Michael got hung behind Tracy Leslie, who had gone high to try to avoid that battle. And now Michael will lose 2 spots and go from 7th to 9th.
And about a year off his life.
Michael stuck Tracy Leslie and himself in that position. It was a little bit more secure. When he gets down to 5 or 6 to go, as competitive as Bobby Labonte is, he doesn't care whether it's competitive or not. He's going to try to get around this car.
And they're running faster laps. The last couple laps have been faster than I've seen on this board all day long. Over 170, almost 171 miles per hour the last time for Jeff Burton. Now as he tries to go by Lance Hooper, will this give Labonte the opportunity he needs to get in front?
Down beneath the
Bonnie
WCW
just ain't got it because you see as he coming out, he's trying to. He's trying as hard as he can.
6 laps to go. Here comes Bobby Labonte.
It's by Kane Hall, the 85 car, and Labonte is there. And several cars in front.
We mentioned Labonte's 4th start in 1998. Here they are side by side. The 3 and the 40 are in 4th and 5th spots. They go by a line of cars that are a lap down.
I think Dr. Word is trying to get by a line of cars. There's Andy Santerre, Blaze Alexander, the 40 car. Joe Bessie in 6th.
Clear, move inside. Clear.
Most cars running at the end of a race, 39. It's over in 1998 of the Busch Series competition. Dale Earnhardt
Clear
Jr.
them 4 cars. 33 still outside.
There's the 433 still out there. That's talking to Dale Earnhardt Jr. The 30 in the
Clear.
car.
40
Hey, he's getting that
outside.
battle. Hermie going to block the
3 to
40
go.
on the bottom? I don't think so. The pace turns under him. The yellow car is Hermie Sadler. Now Earnhardt Jr. is going to try to make it
Oh,
3 or
boy.
4 wide.
Out in turn 3, here comes the AC Delco Chevy. Will it stick on the bottom of the racetrack?
Stay down.
Marla Page jumps back in the throttle and the channel lock.
The race is so exciting, they're showing what
action with 2 laps to
position
go in
is this.
Michigan.
Burt, Labonte, Kenseth, Earnhardt Jr.
Your leader, Labonte, in second spot.
So this will be
Kansas third, but the best battle on the racetrack is for 4th position.
Clear behind them if you want to move. Set them up here. You got 2 to go. Set them up.
And Barry's watching these guys and telling him, set him up. You got a lap and a half to go. How can he set him up?
Bobby Labonte has anything at all for the car number 9 of Jeff Burton's final lap. They are less than a mile and a half from the checkered flag in the Pepsi 200 at Michigan. The separation is 2 car lengths down the backstretch, entering turn 3.
This is why in that title I just put NASCAR 98 Busch Xfin, because I was gonna do several races today. I knew this one was when I would skip because it would green the whole time.
But the scramble back in the pack continues as Burton takes the victory. Bobby Labonte finishes second, Kenseth is third.
And Kevin LePage will finish fourth. Dale Earnhardt Jr. will finish fifth. Here comes Mark Martin and Bobby Hill, and this is a battle for 6 spots.
Off of turn 4, Hill in the 8, Martin the 60, and Martin
Beats me. Look like Martin at the line.
They got. They have scored it electronically as a 60 car. As we go down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, Doc, I've caught up with Tommy Morgan here. He's getting congratulations from everybody. Kim Burton giving him a big hug. And Tommy, you told me before the race you were really, really nervous. Now those nerves can go away. Congratulations. The second big win in 98.
It made me nervous all day, coming up here with a brand new car and everything. But I'd like to dedicate this race to Mark for his dad and his stepmother and his stepsister. I wish he'd have won it instead, but I'm glad to do it.
You've had some...
That was that. I guess it's gonna
designated as
go to the
grand
next one. This is
marshals
Bristol,
tonight,
Food City 250.
You, the fans. So it's now my pleasure to lead 100,000 grand marshals.
It's gonna be one of them
famous command.
icky audios. I hope not.
Remember tonight, though, it's drivers. So on the count of 3, let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Look at that crowd for a Busch race, people. For a Busch race. Okay, was the model bad back then? I don't think so. Guys, you gotta look at what worked. You can't reinvent this stuff. Look at that crowd for a Busch race.
Strange
Seriously.
things happen when the moon shines in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Bristol, Tennessee.
This is the night race at Bristol. Dad won this in 96. So he's got a great setup. I've showed you the setup, y'all. You want to see the setup real quick? It's a little bonus for you.
In the spring, it was young
For
Elliott
you all
Sadler
that
who
happen
survived
to watch my
and
VODs.
smiled. 1 year
And
ago,
I
this
think the
super
world
sibling
of you.
gave us a
But
glimpse
y'all
into
get
the
a
future.
bonus right now.
Tonight,
We're going to get
Dale
you a
Earnhardt Jr.
bonus.
returns as the points leader,
Something
but
that
the
you
lead
might
has
never get
just
to
a
see
little
again.
lead over the likes of
Except
Mike
for on
McLaughlin, whose
my
magic has been missing for most of the month.
My stream.
And mild-mannered Matt Kenseth, the charismatic kid from Wisconsin who is trying to possibly nudge his way toward the top.
Sorry about the audio
the
there.
battle of
Kind of
Bristol
stinks.
Busch style is about to begin.
Oh, God. Well, if this is going to do that through the whole thing, we're going to be
on
skipping.
the high banks of Bristol 10-3. And this crowd expected to approach 100,000 fans. Can't wait to see what is about to happen as ESPN continues our 50th anniversary salute to NASCAR. And as this massive crowd illustrates, it is the most
That
popular
is the winning
motorsport
setup at
series
Bristol.
in the
That's
world.
your bonus for the day. That is their winning setup from 96. 2,300 pound car. I mean, 3,200 or 3,400 pound car, whatever it is. These guys in. Everything. Everything to set up the car right there. So, special bonus for y'all. For the night race at Bristol.
Tonight on this midget half mile, he hopes to teach them a lesson and take another step.
Special bonus for my special watchers.
Only one driver in the current top 10 in the Busch Grand National Series points has ever won here at Bristol, and that's Elliott Sadler.
And the only reason I showed you that is because Dad brought it out at his last interview and showed them. So it's not secret anymore. And take it for what it's worth.
And guess what, folks? Right there's his
Different
car,
than most
and he's on
setups,
the pole.
but it works. Dad has Bristol figured out pretty good. I don't know what happened here with Tim though. This should have been a great race for me.
ESPN Speedway welcomes you live to Thunder Valley,
Because I think I looked at the stats and it didn't look good. Maybe you did. I don't know. Check.
Food City 250.
Rather than guess,
with just
I'm gonna
9 events remaining on the 1998 schedule. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has a scant 38.
We're 8th in points, guys, already. See, Dad got with the team 8 weeks ago, and they were in 15th. So, shout out, Dad. What in the hell is going on, man?
Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Punch, along with Benny Parsons and Kyle Petty. We're certainly glad to have you with us. And, guys, I asked a driver just a little while ago, why such a demolition derby at night? And one guy said, Doc, you know, when we turn the lights on, we turn our brains off.
That might be the case. And I don't really know. Kyle, how do you keep the fenders on these cars?
Most of the time I qualify so bad, I don't have trouble keeping the fenders on my car, Benny. But I tell you what, no matter where you qualify here, Bristol implies beating and banging. And that goes on whether your brain's in your helmet or whether your brain's in the truck.
All right, let's see those that are going to beat and bang. 43 strong, our Suzuki starting grid, an all-veteran front row. Grissom on the pole, Parsons alongside. Youngsters in row 2.
Looking at the
We're talking
database.
about Little E, Dale Earnhardt, alongside the IRL defending series champion, Tony Stewart. As you take a look at our starting grid, there are some people who are high up in the points who are starting back in the pack.
Randy LaJoy will be starting back in the 9th spot as there we see LaJoy. Mike McLaughlin will be starting back in the 13th spot.
Look at how close the times are within one.
But the real surprise is Matt
God, they're within
Kenseth,
thousands.
second in the points, is all the
All
way
right,
back
Feeder
on the
would
outside
qualify
of row
decent.
9 this afternoon.
Row
There's a look
8
at Kenseth
inside,
alongside the veteran
15.
Dick Trickle.
So I was
43
just
cars
bringing up
will
the
start
stats.
tonight's field. 250 laps. Over $450,000 up for grabs on the high banks in Bristol, Tennessee.
And back on the outside of the 14th row is Elliott Sadler, the winner here in the spring.
Awfully good on this high bank tap.
Oh, they're gonna do good in this
Andy
race.
Santerre. Kelly Denton, the young late model stock car race. There's Kenny
this will be
Schrader with
fun.
his Daytona car, starting outside of row 16.
Patty Moise made the field today. Her boss, Michael Walter, did not make the field. There you see the 36 cars that are qualified. The rest of the cars will be in on provisional. Mike Dillon spun during qualifying.
Todd Bodine, a two-time winner here in Busch Series competition, has won both of his events under the lights here in the Food City 250.
Thank you for following. Sorry.
Dave Resendez, the
Sorry, I
Dr.
didn't-
Pepper machine, brings up the
Oh,
rear.
come on,
in
don't do
43rd
that.
starting spot.
Don't
Let's
do
check in
that.
now with Bill.
Don't be one of those.
43 qualifiers right now, 42 starters. Hermie Sadler sits in the backstretch pits with a dead
Thank
battery.
you for
We've
the
all had
follow.
it happen to us, but for him it comes at a critical time. His car was pushed to the
Entrepreneurship's
backstretch pit
one
by
thing,
one of the
but I
tow
have a
trucks.
feeling
They're
you're
trying
a
to change the
scammer.
battery now by the left
Scammer
rear tire,
bammer.
get a new one in and then get him back out. It's going to take a few minutes. He probably will not be able to take the green when they drop in
I wish
here
I could
just moments from now.
remove all evil from this world. Let's start with the bots.
Getting ready for the green flag. We'll run through the onboard cameras, see some of the shots you'll be seeing tonight.
But anyway, I'm
Sawyer's
I'm
looks
taking a
back.
break for a minute, and
Mike
I'll be
McLaughlin
here.
crashed
I'm
a car
listening. I'm in the
practices
chat.
today. This is a
But
backup car. Here we
my
go. Green
posture and
flag
stuff,
is
I have
almost in
to
the
get up
air.
and stretch with my back. Because right now I'm like feeling it, like shaking because I haven't stretched. Yeah, I'm here.
Steve Grissom will lead the first lap with Tony Stewart in hot pursuit. Grissom subbing for the injured Kevin Spencer.
Oh, and we got a spin. Was that Santerre?
Oh shoot, that's a wreck.
And looks like Joe Bessie might have hit him.
And still no caution. Finally, the yellow flag waves. The field is a car sitting in the middle of the racetrack. That is Bessie in turn 3. And they go above him and below him. Thus far, no one.
We got another car. We got another car on the inside. Is it Matt? It is Matt Kenseth, the guy that's second in the
Ooh,
points.
Kenseth too.
Oh, man.
You mentioned that he was qualifying. He started back in 18th spot. That can happen early. He was trying to get slowed down. Wonder if he got a little tap from behind. I think he may have gotten hit as he was trying to slow and come to the inside of the car that had spun up there, Joe Bessie.
And we can see some smoke as the tire is rubbing the fender as he comes to pit road. And look at the damage to the right front.
I'll show you what happened here to bring out the caution as Andy Santerre's car will spin coming off of turn 2 in the backstretch.
Santerre goes up. He tries to avoid hitting, I think, the 89 car. When he does that, he spins himself out. And he goes around. All these other cars go by down on the inside. Here's Joe Bessie, the 6 car on the outside. This car, he's going to make some contact, just slight contact with Santerre. But enough contact that he goes up and Bessie stops in the racetrack. We see the right front tire is flat. Another angle. There we see Santerre going round. And watch Joe Bessie as he comes. Watch Bessie waving his hand and trying to warn everyone else as he tries to turn left and catch. There's no place he can go. He knocks the right front flat on his car.
And then Matt Kenseth has a problem from his in-car from the roof cam, the Lyco Chevrolet.
All right, hold on. Whoa, we're not in the wall. We got punched out. Hey, how bad is it? Let us know.
There is some damage on the back of Kenseth's car. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
And he's got some damage on the front end as well. The right side is all pushed in. The back is crumpled in. He sits in the car. He's pulled behind the pit road wall.
Boy, that sucks to be behind that wall
The window
at
net is still up.
Bristol.
Robbie Reiser has put up the hood, and now the helmet comes off. So it could be a short evening for Matt Kenseth, although they will try and get back out and get some points. Just underway here at Bristol, opening laps of tonight's 250-lap Busch Series race. Don't go away. The excitement's just begun.
Number 9, perfect timing. The green flag waves after one caution flag on lap 2 for a spin by Andy Santerre. Joe Bessie and Matt Kenseth involved. And the car number 12 of Steve Grissom picking up where he left off a moment ago.
And Mike McLaughlin trying to work his way to the front. That puts him in the 12th spot. See Tim Fiedler's hung up on the outside right now. This is Mike McLaughlin's duty pumped on board as he looks back at Nathan Bucky in the 4 car.
He just joined us. McLaughlin lost his primary car on the very first lap of practice when he got tagged from behind. Speaking of tagging, there's the car number 89 having contact. Ashton Lewis in the Meredith Ruart car. Still no caution flag. He is dead at the front and left and rear of the left side of that car as he will try to make it back to pit road.
And no caution flag.
Ashton making his 3rd Busch Series start. A great run up at Watkins Glen, coming from the back of the pack to finish 3rd. Heads for the pit road. Meanwhile, there's...
Try to take a look at, see what happened to Ashton Lewis as he gets the car a little bit out of shape and even more out of shape, and around he goes. And there finally the 83 car, one of the Grubb boys, I guess that's Wayne Grubb, makes a little bit of contact, but really there wasn't much he could do. And a caution flag is now.
Well, the 14 car may have...
Don't look bad from here. Don't see anything rubbing.
Talking to Patty Moise, some damage on the left rear of the Rhodes Furniture Ford. That will bring up the
Safety
second
push the left rear fender in a little bit.
Here on lap number 14.
You see the Patty is going
Jumping
to
in.
pit road. You see Ashton Lewis's car inside the garage here. Alongside Kelly Den's car is already off the racetrack behind pit wall. Once again, Ashton Lewis's onboard camera. Ooh. Pretty good contact with that left front against the inside wall, Kyle.
Yeah, especially since he had the wheel cut.
And he almost had it saved, looks like, Kyle.
Damn,
He got a little
looked
bit
like
of
my
tap
body
to
wrecked.
just get the gather back in.
He almost had it saved. And
Had to run
one of
to
the
the
Grubb
late
boys got in the back of it,
quick.
but that was not his fault. That car's out there. It's hung out. You know, all the saving in the world,
try
all the
that
steering in the
again.
world, it might not have come back.
Just
But he got a
wanna
little bit of
see
help to
that
go
wreck
around, and
just a little.
it's probably over for him for the day.
There's Patty Moise, Rhodes Furniture Ford car. She had a great run here in the spring. Finished 10th her lap of practice when he got tagged from behind. Speaking of tagging, there's the car number 89 having contact. Ashton Lewis.
Ashton Lewis. Okay, Jeff Lewis not in it.
Did at the front and left.
That was kind of a car where a number of people drove it. Okay.
Number 14.
You see the Patty is going
Jumping
to
in.
pit road. You see Ashton Lewis's car inside the garage here. Alongside Kelly Den's car is already off the racetrack behind pit wall. Once again, Ashton Lewis's onboard camera.
Got on the gas too fast. You see that?
Pretty good contact with that left front against the inside wall, Kyle.
Yeah, especially since he had the wheel cut.
And he almost had it saved, looks like, Kyle, when he got a little bit of tap as he was just getting together back in.
He almost had it saved, and one of the Grove boys got in the back of him, but that was not his.
Mark Green, Dale Jarrett, Robert Preston round out the top 10. As
nobody's pitching.
Nascar hits pit road, and Green flag about to come out.
Stay on the high.
Well, we are being told our points leader may have a problem, right, Bill Weber?
Terry, he could have an overheating problem as well. Temperatures up to 220, but Tony Uri Jr. told me he was not running the fans. They had him flip that on. That and the fact we went back to green should help him.
We talked about how hard it is for the drivers to get air. These cars can run hot very quickly. A little contact there between Shane Hall and Mark Green, the 85 and 37 cars, respectively.
Shane Hall maintains the spot. We see McLaughlin's now hung on the outside. He passed Nathan Bucky once in the 4 car. Now the 34 car in danger of losing that spot to Bucky.
Those are the 2 cars that came together on the very first lap of practice. Nathan Bucky tapped the back of the 34 car, sent it spinning into the wall. Accidentally, of course, but that cost McLaughlin his primary car. They had to go to their speedway car. But he's making it work tonight, Kyle, all over the racetrack.
Yeah, his car really worked well. Some of the first in-car camera shots we had shows the sparks coming up from off the racetrack under a full fuel load. But his car runs right on the bottom. So does Buckley's car. His runs right on the bottom. So these 2 guys are chasing the same part of the racetrack at this point.
And meanwhile, Kevin LePage, the Chandler car, a real close look at 44 of Tony Stewart. Right now, it looks like Steve Grissom might be holding up this pack of cars.
And right behind LePage is the 3 car for our point leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Making his 3rd ever start at Bristol, Tennessee. There's the Food City roof cam.
I just let my puppy dog out.
Earnhardt Jr.
Back on the screen just a second.
Down on the pole and finished 2nd here in the spring. Led a number of laps in this race a year ago, driving Ed Whitaker's car.
Oh! And Tony Stewart came off the corner, got it loose, and LePage dove to the inside. He loses that spot. Here comes Earnhardt Jr. He's going to lose that spot.
And a 47 car, Santerre is a lap down.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. just pushed the 40 car around the racetrack.
Look at Matt Kenseth. If we were to award points as of right now, he'd be 161 points back. As you see Earnhardt close in on the back of LePage, that's because Kenseth is off the racetrack, being shown in 42nd position. And Earnhardt Jr. is 3rd right now on the grid.
Boy, he is right all over the 40 car. And I said a while ago, Steve Grissom might be holding these guys up. Grissom right now is driving away from the 40 car, and there goes Earnhardt Jr.
Clear, all clear.
Earnhardt Jr.'s car really was working well. In the
and he gets a touch in the outside wall.
Stay up, stay up, stay up. No caution yet, DJ, no caution.
And we've got a crash on the front stretch.
Well, the caution will not come out for Earnhardt, but it will come out for this connection between Blaze Alexander and Sterling Marlin, who have come together.
And Randall LaJoy, I think, hit the wall on coming off turn 4. I think there's about 3 or 4 different wrecks on this deal.
There is Carl Simmons waving the caution flag. Look at the right side of the AC Delco car. That's our points leader. A little bit of tap from the backside as the 3 car in the outside wall. There's a look at the Rayovac machine. That's Ed Whitaker's car for Sterling Marlin. There's Blaze Alexander in the Rescue Chevrolet.
We'll show you a replay of the Dale Earnhardt incident. We see it come off the corner, and just a little touch from Kevin LePage. And Earnhardt Jr. goes up and bam, smacks that wall pretty doggone good.
Yeah, and the angle of the racetrack and the angle of the wall were 2 different ways, so it knocks all the camber out, knocks rear end over. This is a major hit that does a lot of damage.
There's just that little bit of touch, and watch this. Boom, both the front and the rear.
Boy, he had the wheels cut, but nothing else to do. Now, let's show you what happened in the second incident involving Sterling Marlin in the car number 1 and the 20 car of Blaze Alexander.
See, Mike Dillon, the 72 car, starts this crash. He spins the car out. Now, I guess that Blaze Alexander and Sterling Marlin just are innocent victims as they try to avoid. Is Todd Bodine going to hit him? No, he missed him. Man, how did he do that? But here comes Sterling Marlin, and he spins trying to avoid him. And look at Braze Alexander. Boom. Right in the right front wheel.
So Dillon gets going again, and he doesn't hit anybody.
Watch it from our speed shot camera.
Wow, that wreck took out a lot. Hi,
This camera
Liz.
just stays positioned. I think Randall DeJoy
Bristol.
ends up hitting the wall later on. Look,
Oh,
this is
Bristol.
how much, here
98.
comes the leader.
There he comes on the high side.
Watch LaJoy. You see him make that contact? That was a 47 car he made contact with, I believe.
Yeah, whichever car
Randy
it was moved
LaJoy
up
is
on
one
the
of our
road. This is the first
teammates.
incident.
Gosh, they
This-
took out
This is on
Earnhardt.
the backstretch. Now, while all this stuff's going on, and Earnhardt Jr. is getting his car back under control, this is Earnhardt Jr. passing him. And it was a clean pass. He didn't get into the back of him. He didn't get into anything. He washes up a little bit here. LePage just barely touches him. And boom, he's in the outside wall.
Stay up, stay up, stay up.
That's Blaze Alexander's car, number 20. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap.
There's the team car to the one my dad's garage has. Garage has the 74 and the 33. Dad's working with the 33. Steve Bird, crew chief on the
And Dale
on
Earnhardt
the
Jr. has been in
74.
twice. They've changed the right side tires. They're working on the left rear. They pulled the sheet metal away from that left rear tire. He may have to come back. He sat here an awful long time and just barely beat the pace car out. So that last stop was very brief. So he'll come back in.
Yeah.
He's
Knocked over 2 inches.
telling his crew how the car is handling.
These right sides because the right front wheel is bent. Okay, we got to get some damn fenders off the tires first.
Now, Dad had
Come
the
on back.
winning
We're gonna
setup
run
there
forward
for
on it.
96 because he won this night race in 96
So we don't
with
get
the
layup.
47.
Do right.
Not Santerre, but it was
Right side
ST
tires.
Motorsports
And bring him back around so they don't lose a lap.
with Fuller.
Did you hear Earnhardt Jr. say there one time the steering wheel's moved about 2 inches? Which means
Yeah,
the
he
front's
got
hit,
murdered.
it's knocked the toe out of it. So they're just trying to get the fenders off the tires. Get all
I
the
know this is
cosmetics
weird. I have a small home, but
a lot more than cosmetic. Randy LaJoy was about 3 foot
My-
in there. There's a lot more going on under his car.
Your thing's pushed in or it's going to rub in these corners.
Tony, you were a senior, I believe.
come back on high. I had to
our
use the
points
ladies'
leader at
room.
this
My
trouble
morning,
now
you know,
is Matt
old
Kenseth,
people,
the guy
the
who's
morning,
sitting
you know, your whole body is like rebelling, okay? So I was in the bathroom and I have a mirror and I can watch the race from the mirror. I watched him get murdered. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the bathroom and he's getting murdered.
City roof cam for Dale Earnhardt Jr. showing on the lead lap, but he's back in 29th
God, it sucks to get old though.
He has got a long
You have no
way to
control
go.
over nothing anymore.
McLaughlin making up charge. Now he is third in points. He really stands to gain tonight with both Earnhardt Jr. and Kenseth
Real
having
country
had trouble
living,
here early
yes.
on.
Oh, I love it
They're
here.
in seventh spot. You can see Dale Jarrett in the white rain Ford Taurus in a spot trying to chase McLaughlin down.
I have not gone for a walk uptown yet.
Battle continues. There is the back of the Channel Lock Chevy.
Yeah.
Kevin LePage in second spot. Looking back at Tony Stewart, Shell Pontiac.
Just the morning,
Joe Gibbs
you know,
State.
you have the coffee,
Steve
you're
Grissom is
feeling
the
really
leader.
good,
The
and all of a
car
sudden it's
left
like,
side of the screen.
oh,
That's a Zippo car.
oh my
They go
goodness,
by
what are we
the
going to
damaged
do
car
now?
of Randy LaJoy, the defending series champion.
The unpredictability of getting elder.
So 3 out of the top 4 are having trouble tonight.
I think Mike Dillon just took the car behind the wall with it like a smoking pot, like an engine. And we see McLaughlin and Jarrett still.
There's been some horses. I saw 4 riders yesterday when I was headed out to the store. Yeah, I want to go for a nice walk. Okay, the town I live in is a touristy town because it's an old movie set type of town. It wasn't meant to be, but
That's how close you're going to
this
get.
guy
There's no way to race any other
wanted
way.
to have a cowboy town, and he owns a few gas stations down near Charlotte. And when he sold them, he bought 700 acres up here in this mountain. He bought this mountainside. Put in a little town. He built a church and started adding to the town. There's a hotel. They had they're most known for 1971. Or 1970.
1991, driving a Pontiac that night.
It was a Woodstock too, kind of. It was a Love Valley thing, it was called. The Love Valley thing. And they had the Allman Brothers and different musical bands like Woodstock did. Not quite as big a names, but you know, Allman Brothers weren't real big back then. And they ended up building a cabin here, too. I haven't even drove out Bacon Road to see the cabin yet. My friend, Tim Friend, lives there.
He's already wiped out one.
Last I knew, but I don't know if he's still there. But there's a bunch of bars in town and saloons and stuff at times, and it was like really kicking, really rocking and rolling. And I used to bartend at one of the five bars. And, I mean, it's nice if everyone's nice, but, you know, there's guns. I've taken many holsters behind the counter because it's an open carry state, and you just can't carry in a bar. So you have to turn your holsters in just like the old days. And I have to hold them behind the counter while you're there, and then you can have them back. But, more wrecking. Now, Dad's car is the 33. I know they finish well, so they've avoided most of these issues. But, yeah, it's a real tourist town.
All these cars involved. Man, it's some heavy damage to Germany.
That I live in.
77 of barriers involved. Trickles, you said, Benny, up against the wall.
A couple of the bars are open this weekend.
There see Buckshot Jones. He's going to be in the
And
93 car of Dave Blaney's
I lived in this town since 2013 to 2020. Being a bartender, I know everybody. Everybody knows me. Including a lot of boys that, you know, of course, they want to marry me and all this good fun stuff, and I don't want anything to do with that anymore. So I stay out of the bars. Not that I'm special, but I have this bad picker. My picker is broke. So I don't trust myself into making a smart choice there. You know, it's just, I enjoy my life. I enjoy my puppies. I enjoy my kitties. I enjoy my male friends and my female friends just as much. And I have a side boob if I have to. You know, that's all that matters.
It looks like he got hit almost.
Yeah, it did.
That's all that matters. So I avoid going to town on the weekends right now, at least until, like, I'm running into everybody at the Dollar General.
Keep in mind when you're watching a race at Bristol, they're running 16-second laps, 16.5-second laps. This stuff's happening incredibly quick right in front of them.
Well, there's the Dennis Shoemaker Steiner national car.
Like, my attempt to be sneaking back into town isn't working too well when I go to the Dollar General, and, like, it's so weird to be in a town of 90 people. You know, it's just, you know everybody. Like, you know everybody. Good, bad, yeah. Oh, poor Dick. Not feeling good.
Behind the mountains here, the Blue Ridge Mountains in Bristol, Tennessee. Well, that's almost a Hallmark card, isn't it? I mean,
Bristol is 3 hours from where I'm at right now. I've been there a couple of times. It's quite a ride up through the mountains on 321.
That would be a sympathy Hallmark card for some of these cars, the way they've been wiped out.
It's a windy road. It's pretty. I don't even know how much of that road is still there because that big hurricane they had washed a bunch of stuff out.
Bobby Hillin involved, Dick Trickle, Jones, Barrier, Jeff Green.
Yeah, exactly. That was more like my hometown up in Massachusetts. It was 3,000.
Let's check in with Bill.
Because I was born and raised in Massachusetts, but that's too damn cold. But my folks, you know, my great-grandparents came over from Finland, so Massachusetts wasn't cold compared to Finland. So they loved it there. But boy, they have harsh winters where I used to live, Western Mass. We had lake effect snows and stuff. We're out kind of almost close to the New York-Albany area border. Just south of Vermont.
Yeah, but hit the wall really hard, you know, wrecked the Snyder National Chevrolet pretty good. You know,
I love
Shane
that
Hall,
guy.
The 85 car got into me really bad coming off 4. I don't know why. I have to talk to him about it, but you know, we had a great car, and I was just buying my time.
He took his
it looked
life,
like I could take one at a time as I wanted to go. And,
which
you know,
just
I
devastated the whole community because he was so cool. So nice to everybody and so well liked, but he had physical problems.
He took one whale of a lick, and as you heard Kyle Petty say earlier,
yeah, Finn, I'm 100% Finn.
Talking about when you hit here in Bristol, there's no such thing as an easy hit here in Bristol, Tennessee.
Just happened to be that way.
Wicked hits that any driver.
Yeah,
like I say,
we're not usually too emotional. Dad is very stoic, like original Finn stoic.
RPM tonight on ESPN2. That's tomorrow. NASCAR today, 7 o'clock Eastern
We've
time.
kept all the
Then Bob
traditions.
Jenkins and Ned Jarrett
The
step in
food,
for our live flag to
as far
flag
as that
coverage
goes,
of the NASCAR
like the
Western
food
Cup
traditions and
500 coming your way on
the coffee
Mothership.
table is a big
ESPN,
thing.
7:30 Eastern
The little,
time tomorrow night. And of course, Rusty Wells will lead them down.
I'd like to
43
start
stone
when I get
to the
settled
green flag.
enough that I have time on my hands when I'm not writing. I'd like to do what Grandma always did every Friday. She baked bread for the weekend, and everybody came and visited her on the weekends, all the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren. And on Saturday was sauna day. She lit the sauna, and most of them took saunas like we did once in a while, but we had a sauna at home too, so we didn't
So Andy
care.
Santerre, the yellow car on the inside, no doubt he'll be
Percolate, yeah. 24-hour coffee pot, the tradition of the coffee table with the braided finished bread and everything she would make every Friday. She'd make rye bread, finished Reka was the rye bread with the hole in the middle. Reka doesn't mean rye, it means hole. Remember how they like had the pole and they have the breads with the hole in the middle and they line them all up and dry them? That's the tradition that I was brought up about. It's kind of cool.
We're riding along with Kevin LePage on the Channel Lock Chevrolet.
And I love the hardtack. They called it.
A minute ago when Kevin LePage and Dale Earnhardt Jr. were
They would
racing,
make the finished coffee bread into a braid, and they would make hard things.
stretched about half a straight.
Yes, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if you can't go on cold tires.
Reka means whole. I always thought all my life because it was rye bread, Reka meant rye, but no, it means whole. Bread with a hole in it.
Chevy, that's the Jimmy Spencer car. Spencer out of it for a couple of weeks and has
Poles
Steve
make
Grissom
cakes with
setting
a
for him. There's Bobby Hill
kind
in
of
the
funny.
Garden of Rain. He was heavily damaged in the big Mac attack car. That's the Mac McGuire. They're keeping the home run count on the side of that.
I mean, I would
shower machine.
store
The
my
home
bread
run
on
count,
a
51
rod, but
for Mark McGuire.
They had ingenious ways of
McLaughlin Gould's pump Chevy. He is running what?
preserving. But I'd like to make homemade bread instead of buying bread. Just because it smells so good and it's just like so good. I used to have a bread maker and everything. I gained 30 pounds, so I got rid of it. So maybe I, think about that. I really want to make the finished braids and stuff and maybe just hand them out to people in town or whatever. Something fun once I get on, have nothing else to do.
Roaring at you at about 120 miles an hour. Another big incident, this time up on the banking.
Oh, jeez. Pile up. Clean up turn 4.
The entire racetrack is blocked. These people are on the apron, but look at that. There's 4 wide, 2 going the opposite way. The entire racetrack is blocked.
Yeah, that's not a very good example of a parallel park there. Now, I don't know if they're going to allow Schroeder to have that lap back or not. Look at all the damage these cars. We've seen Mark Krogh there in the 80 car. He had some damage to a car.
Oh, yeah, you got a broken radiator. Drive all over the track. Actually, all the water is out there in the turn, so.
There's Dave Blaney. He was a victim once again.
Dave Blaney. That's Ryan Blaney's family.
There we see Buckshot Jones and makes slight contact with Jeff Krogh in the 56 car. And we see Randy LaJoie slow down. Shane Hall, bam, hard in the back of the 85 car. And here comes Jeff's brother, Mark Krogh, the 80 car. And there comes Patty Moise into it. And man, there, as you said, there's no place to go. Another angle. Here's Buckshot Jones right there as we roll the tape. There we see him trying to get under the Jeff Krogh car right there. And there's the contact.
That accident there takes out both of the Krogh brothers. There's LaJoie spinning his 74. Now watch the 93 gets tapped from behind on the 85 of Shane Hall. Here's the 14 of Moise coming in. Resendez going downstairs, and Ed Berrier trying to make it by the 77 car. So 6 cars involved in our 5th caution flag today. There's the Shane Hall machine, the Bama Jellies Big A Auto Parts machine. As You look at the damage
Oops,
on that
Bama
car. Let's
Jelly.
check in,
I was
with Bill
I had
Weber
my
and
mic
update
on.
the Phil Parsons situation.
Bama Jelly is
Well, Terry, we just want to be sure and point
Texas
out that
Pete,
Bill Parsons
Garner
has
Foods,
made a pit stop,
same
lap
company.
61. He took 4 tires and fuel. Remember, we talked about that car being loose. I asked Gene Need after the pit stop if the car was better. It is better, but Phil gave up a lot of track position. Of course, he'd lost considerable track position under green. Now he's hoping to gain that back on 4 fresh tires.
Well, we have had 5 caution flags in the first 73 laps, and by my count, 23 cars have been involved in some shunt or another. With the concrete or each other, over half the field is involved, and we are nowhere near halfway through this 250 lap race.
Be right back.
72
My
laps
dog's
complete.
barking at
Back
something.
with more of the Battle of Bristol after this. Facility here that Old Bruton Smith has built or basically added on to, courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil and our Pennzoil Copter Cam. We call it the Rose Bowl of racetrack. 135,000 seats, and a lot of them are full tonight, but they will all be jam-packed tomorrow night for the running of the Goodies Headache Powder 500. We're under caution for the 5th time tonight. 22 cars have been involved in an accident in one way or another. Our most recent shunt here, the 5th one of the night, involving these cars: LaJoy, Moise, Shane Hall, Dave Blaney, Mark Crow, and Jeff Crow. Look at the carnage down there in the pits. We'll show you again what happened here on lap number 70.
And once again, right there, the 00 and the 56. Contact. Jeff Crow gets the 56. He spins up the racetrack. Now, car starts spinning. Buckshot Jones is able to get through. Look at all the damage. That's Mark Crow, Jeff's brother in the 80 car. He goes up. Here comes Patty Moise in the back of Shane Hall in the 85. That's Moise in the 14. Shane Hall in the 85. Randy LaJoy in the 74. This has certainly not been his night, as he's involved in about the 2nd time.
And Kyle, here's a different angle.
Yeah, he thought he had the room, and then all of a sudden they didn't. They get together right there. This is how quick stuff happens. You see Randy LaJoy, he gets hit in the back, knocks him into the 00. The 93, he goes up the racetrack, and all of a sudden, Patty Moise comes in here a little late, but there's nothing she can do because she's on the high side. She gets in the loose stuff, slams on brakes. Racetrack's blocked. Everybody has to pass on the apron. There's no way through this.
Didn't we see the 00 and the 74 involved in a couple of bumping incidents a year ago here?
Yeah, but this time, I don't think either one of them had any intention of hitting the other one. That time, I think there was a little intent involved.
No, drivers wouldn't intentionally tap somebody. No, that's a child penny topic. Wouldn't do that.
Only at Bristol.
We see Jimmy Spencer, the owner of the 12 car, taking a couple of weeks off from driving. He was involved in an accident at Indy and decided he'd take a couple of weeks off in Gary.
You know, and you talk about someone making a significant improvement. I talked to Jimmy at Michigan last Sunday, and I was at his house on Monday morning. He had improved remarkably in one day and is anxiously anticipating getting back in that Winston Cup car at New Hampshire next week. Get well soon, Jimmy.
I
we
went out
miss
to
you,
see
partner.
what she was whooping at. She just feeling herself.
Tonight with Steve Grissom
feeling
aboard,
herself.
behind Kevin LePage, Tony
saying,
Stewart,
woohoo.
Kevin Grubb, and Robert Presley rounding out the top
I said,
five.
what are you barking at? She just like wagged her tail and started rolling around and playing and found a bone out there. She's all happy. And we got a pit stop. And where is Vila?
This is pit strategy we talked about before the race. Right now, the 40 car, Kevin LePage on pit road, getting right side
that's how
tires
Dad did the original Bristol race, too. He stayed out for a while.
The air hose briefly got hung up on the front air dam. Now they whip around to the left side, clean out the front of the grill. You can see that car's got a little damage on the front. He's obviously run into some traffic.
Pitted one time.
Down pit road, followed by the 34 Mike McLaughlin has to slide by the outside of the 52 cars from
I remember watching that race.
Presley was in the 59 car, and we were expecting Dale Jarrett
just play
to
that
come in, but
96
DJ
race
decided to keep
some
that
giggles
track
today
position.
right after
They were
this.
talking down here. They said, yeah, let's put on 4 tires. The leaders came down pit road, and DJ stayed out, so we'll see how that plays out.
Now, in the driver's meeting, they were given 2 sets of tires, so most of the guys said they were going to pit twice, around lap 80 to 100 the first time, and then come in around lap 180 to 200 the second time. However, last year when Jimmy Spencer won this race, he pitted only once, just after the halfway point. And take a look at who's back in the race. The car number 17 of Matt Kenseth, trying to get some of those valuable Busch Series points.
See Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the pit, still working on that AC Delco Chevrolet, trying to get it right. All these cars and flags is helping Dale Earnhardt Jr. and all these cars that have been eliminated by crashes. If Matt Kenseth can run a couple hundred laps, it will really help him out, because right now he could pick up about 10 or 12 spots.
Well, he is being shown 78 laps back in the car number 17. Now, the car number 34, Mike McLaughlin, has had a pretty abysmal month of August, but he can really make up for it tonight. He lost his primary car in the first practice session, but the Team 34 Gould's Pump Chevrolet driver could come a long way toward that points lead if he can hang on tonight. Back in a moment. Start lap 86, Tony Stewart all over the back of the Zippo Chevy at Bristol.
Ricky Craven's back in third spot. The 2-car, the 47 Santerre, is 3 laps down, I believe, the Monroe Muffler car. And we see now Dale Jarrett takes over that third spot as he gets underneath Ricky Craven.
Craven's car sliding up across the racetrack, just skittering up out of the groove, losing valuable positions. Meanwhile, Stewart continuing to put pressure on the car number 12.
Oh my, really?
He's going to stick his nose in there a little bit. Either go on or we'll see another caution flag.
Tony gets a really good run up off 2, which sends him off into turn 3 really hard.
Oh man.
Yeah. He looks to the inside.
I had to run out while you were smoking and see what my dog was doing. I heard her woof, and I go out there, and she's just happy. She's just barking for the heck of it. She's not a barker, but she's just saying hello to the neighborhood. She goes, woo, 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 and I hear all the dogs in the neighborhood. I'm like, what you doing? What you barking at? And she started wagging her tail, rolling around the ground, and playing with a bone.
As the caution comes out for the 6th time tonight.
She loves it here. She was born here in this town, well, this area. She was born about 2 miles from here. And her and I, she was raised as a puppy at this exact location.
Chevrolet for Ricky Craven.
So
His
she's
car had
like,
been slipping up, but he had
she's
come
starting
all the
to
way
feel like
third
she was, at first, like,
wait a
minute, wait a minute. You could see the look on her, like, trying to put it all together. Now she's like, she wants to walk to town so bad. And that's what I'll do today with her. Since it's Monday, and I think if there's any shops, they won't be open today, maybe.
And now cars going by inside and outside, and
Monday's usually slow day
no place to go
in the valley.
In the back. That's Wayne Grubb in the 83.
We call it the valley.
Here they go.
Oh, smoosh.
In the water in the middle of the race.
Oh, because the 83 was letting up for the 2, and the 63 spotter didn't say, yo, checking up for a slow car.
But there's just no place to go. They run up on the 2. The
Everybody
2 must have been having some type of problem. They run up on him so quick. They were already too wide. They had no place to go.
Here's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s bumper cover. And with your Ty Norris say, keep digging, and that's what he's doing.
Caution's out.
Gotta wonder if Craven didn't possibly have a tire going down. He was
Actually,
wrestling with the car
my
going up across the
Fitbit
racetrack. Let's check in with Ray Dunlap. Ray?
Well, Jerry, you're right on top of that one. It was the right rear tire on Ricky Craven's car that went down, and that's what set that all up. And Benny was just talking about the rear bumper cover on Dale Earnhardt's car. He is going to pit, and they're going to rip that off because they're afraid it's going to fall off, or NASCAR may black flag him. So expect Earnhardt to come into the pits next time.
If I plug it in now, then I'll be able to get credit for my walk.
But I haven't seen any cars going to pit stops with anything that looked anything close to transmission trouble.
Somebody was saying there's transmission split in half.
Yeah.
So but you don't see any
It's
fluid.
been off all night.
All right, working caution number 6
I
tonight.
had 15% left when I went to bed.
Chevrolet. Also Wayne Grubb, Tracy Leslie, and the car number 99. Back with some exciting Busch Grand National Series action from Thunder Valley in Bristol, Tennessee. Being brought to you by the more than 2,500 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Quaker State, sensible technology. What more do you need to know? We have just gone green on lap number 99, the restart. And once again, Tony Stewart hugging the rear bumper of Steve Grissom in the Zippo Chevy.
Everything is USB.
These shots from high above, watching that battle courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil and our Pennzoil copter cam.
Buckshot Jones, a 00 car, has a lap down. Would love to get by these 2 cars and hope the caution flag comes out. Now, a moment ago, we saw Tony Stewart. And Buckshot gets by Tony Stewart. We saw Tony Stewart pass Steve Grissom a moment ago coming down to the line on the caution flag. And that there's a gentleman's agreement. You're supposed to do that. So NASCAR said, Tony, why don't you go back in second spot? He agreed to. Now we're back, start back again.
My Fitbit app and see how long that thing's been on.
He's been in a couple of wrecks. He's got a little bit better tires.
My phone's off, too.
And also make up a lot of points. He was 6th. Here's Dale Jarrett in the car number 32 trying to make a move by for second position. Odds underneath Grissom. Here comes the 8 car, Bobby Hillen. He's being shown 3 laps down in the 5th spot.
I got a misconnection in my cord. My son's cord's bad too, so he's been using
Grissom
mine.
just got knocked out of the way just a little bit.
Pick up another one
The
next
happen is right
paycheck.
after a restart when everybody's lined up close to tail. It's tough to get back down that line. Steve did a really good job getting back down.
Now trying to get back by Bobby.
No apps, nothing. Try to figure it out. I had a Fitbit. I started using the Fitbit because one of my racing friends, he has been training with it and got me hooked on that. So I need to actually, when I walk to town, call him because I have no phone signal here. I mean, I can text, but I can't call.
The Aiken Sutton Motorsports efforts for Alvin Sawyer riding along.
Everything's Wi-Fi. I'm not hidden in the mountains, like dead zone, cell phone dead zone.
The 1994 Series Chevy. There's look at Elton. Started back in 14th spot. Early 50.
I actually walked up the mountain to see if I could get a signal, and I walked a little ways and nothing. So
Bristol Motor Speedway, Tony Stewart.
I said, well, it'll be about that far to walk that way to town. I got green catchers under it.
33 car.
That way is town. And I'll walk up that mountain. There's Dad's car. Phoenix Scott.
And make that 6th spot, I believe.
Right down in the corner and hugs the bottom of the racetrack. He jumps in that throttle and goes right by Tim Feedy for the position.
The reason I'm looking at the rear bumper of the 33, we do have a rear bumper from a race, and I think it was from IRP, from judging from what it looked like when it was dragging on the ground. I think that's all. But
now climbing his way back into the top 10.
You got to remember,
I'm still keeping my eye open to see, because that's the same kind of angle of the...
He's made his lap up. Now he's running 7th, 8th position.
It just doesn't look like the right color blue that we got.
This is Bristol. This is not Daytona.
Or the gold trim. The other one had gold trim.
He said they both have high banks, so what does the car know? Here's a battle for the lead. Dale Jarrett off forward, the white rain colors on the side of the 32 car. Trying to take a look to the inside of the Shell Pontiac.
Jarrett ran good here all the time. We barely beat Jarrett in 96. Jarrett could have put us out.
You know, last week we talked
no
about
phones
how
at all.
Bonnie got around Michigan.
It is.
He liked that racetrack and it fits his style.
Except for when you need to make a call, then it's like, oh God, we got to drive to the town, or we got to walk to town, or drive to the Dollar General.
He's run great in the Winston Cup cars. He gets around.
My son has Wi-Fi calling.
My phone
doesn't have it
like he's not even.
But I mean, I got other apps that I can use.
Yes, and we can see that Steve Grissom had the fastest lap that time simply because we had a battle going between the leader
and Messenger. I call my sister on Messenger.
Tony Stewart. Let's see in clean racetrack if Dale Jarrett he should be.
I feel that way, but my family gets really anxious if I don't call. It makes them feel a lot better if I do call, because they don't like me living far away.
For second position, here's Grissom back underneath the 44 car.
It's only 500 miles, but
so it is Ford, then Chevrolet,
my entire life I worked
of the Busch Grand National event tonight.
Either in Massachusetts or in North Carolina, and all of my retirement is based on North Carolina wages. And living in Florida, I lost my ass. Literally,
and Benny knows it. You get in a rhythm.
we did not.
You get in a rhythm of what it's on the gas,
We could not
letting
stay,
off,
and they
car,
were
the way
raising
it
our
feels
rent,
to the corner,
and they had
you get a
raised it
feel when you
every
get in a
year
rhythm.
for 4 years in a
Knows
row,
that rhythm
extremely.
well. He's come up here and he's
And it was
like,
now
Grissom
double
knows that
from
rhythm.
4
He's
years
up here,
prior.
he's finding that rhythm.
I had to
That's
tap
one thing
out.
Tony Stewart will find after he runs a lot
I
of
mean, I
races.
just don't like
He'll
living
figure out what
like
the
that.
rhythm of Bristol
I don't
is,
like
and
living
as good as he's running here, he'll
to
perform
just
later
put a
on.
roof over your head and have food for a half a month, you know, and that's what was happening. Every month we were worse and worse and worse.
Backfiring.
Drowning. So coming here is a reset for me and get my finances back in order, get where I'm comfortable and I can actually do things again like
And that's one
that
thing great
normal
about night
people
racing.
do.
You get to see all this. You don't usually see it in the daytime.
You know,
You see it at night.
when you can't do things that normal people do, it's almost like abuse.
That's Ricky
you know,
Pearson
like
talking to his driver Buckshot.
when
saying
you-
can't let him go. You were on the lead lap, and now you're a lap down.
It got to the point where we would just like get up and sleep. You know, the depression was so wicked. Depression was horrible. I want to sleep for hours and just, you know, yeah. I mean, if you have no joy, if everything you work for just pays from, like it was all going to my lot rent. And that's it. Like, and my son and I were running out of food by mid-month and trying to invent ways to make things stretch. And it was just, you could do that for a little bit. But when we're going on year 3 of doing that, we had, you know, I had to take out a personal loan and just say, that's it. We're moving back to North Carolina where I can afford it. Because if our boat sank, we were no good for anyone else, family or not. I mean, you know. Believe me, when we got to town, we both just relaxed. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but it's. We know we can make it.
Slowing down, the car just came off the racetrack.
We know we can make it here. We got a great landlord. I've lived at her house for years before, 2 years before. I lived here, this same place from 2019 to mid-2020. It's always been great.
I guess he about spun coming off turn 2, and now he's finally got the car back under control.
Yeah, man. You just can't deal with that. You know, this lady, she's wicked nice. And
boy, what troubles they've had for the
we've
guys
always,
in the
you know,
points
she's about my age. We always got along. And I enjoy working in the yard and stuff like that.
Have had problems tonight. There's Sandy Jones.
So I like cleaning up and helping her keep it pretty. She has like a little campground. She's had tenants at times that have treated her poorly. And I'm in the process of trying to clean up some of that mess. It's pretty wicked.
But he did a good job in saving it that
Pretty
time.
wicked.
There's the car number
Yeah,
32
I mean,
for
I've
Dale
been,
Jarrett, who's being shown as our
okay,
leader.
living in an RV in Florida is considered homeless.
The 00 being shown one
And
lap down.
that made me stressed because they made a bunch of laws down there about homelessness in the last year. And they made it so it's only legal to live in an RV for 6 months. So that was another decision relating to North Carolina. This town is based on campgrounds, this little
for the
town.
points battle combatants. Boys, it began early. It all started on
Yeah.
lap number 5 when Matt Kenseth gets a little bit of tap from
That
behind.
happens too. You know what? My stress, I'll start looking younger. Like, I've been here a week, and I looked in the mirror and I said, wow, some of my lines are gone. Like, my forehead lines are kind of
There's
gone.
Matt Kenseth right now. Well, he is behind the wall, still sitting in his Chevrolet. They are trying to get it repaired. What about Earnhardt Jr.? Well, the car number
Knowing
3
that
in the
I
City roof cam is
definitely
still
can
running,
grow
but
garden
Earnhardt Jr. being
here.
shown 2 laps
I
down,
can, because
and
I
the
have.
points
It's
as of
super
now would show
fertile.
Kenseth would be a big loser, being
know the area well. We're right in the middle of racing country. We'll actually be able to afford to go to some races. I mean, I was living in Florida and I'm right near Daytona, New Smyrna, Volusia, but I couldn't afford to even drive there and sit outside in the parking lot. I mean, that's how tight we were. You know, for 3 years, it was like we were miserable. You know, all we had to look forward to was my son's iRacing. We just sat in the house and iRaced and watched regular racing.
There's the channel lock machine that Doug Taylor owned.
You know, and of course I went on nature walks and this and that, but you can only, when you can't, when I was going backwards a few $100s over the last, put it that way, for like 3 years, and I had no savings. I just was, if I had 3 bills to pay, I'd pay 2, and the next month the other 2, and the next month the other 2, and you know, rob Peter, pay Paul, and juggle credit cards and take this money off this credit card to pay that credit card, and back and forth, back and forth. And that'll catch up with you, and that's just, oh yeah. I mean, just the fact that we're here and know we've cut our living expense in half can free up a lot. But we got some catching up to do now because, of course, credit cards and personal loan I had to take out just to get here. Those things I got to get rid of now, but you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel. When you have no light at the end of the tunnel, it's not easy, you know, and I do pride myself on being self-sufficient, and I didn't like having to beg my sister for gas money or stuff like that. And she's more than willing, you know, my family's more than willing to help, but it just, you might as well stick a knife in your heart for your pride, you know? So this was a good move for us to regroup and this piece of property on the other side of the mountain that I had a claim in before, I got to catch up with the owner of that to find out if she truly did sell it or if someone was trying to steal it because she's elderly. So I got lawyer paperwork on that. I got to go check out where she's at as well. That's another thing I'll have to do. But maybe I'll take just a long, slow stroll with the puppy on a leash today. Get her a little more in mummy's mindset instead of free and easy loose dog. She loved being loose with no leash. She had been on a leash for 5 years. I mean, she looked at me when I opened the door and said, you can jump out. And she's looked like without a leash. Yeah, you can jump out, no leash. She's like, yeah.
Now there's Dave Resendez in the Dr. Pepper Ford.
And he started back in 43rd position. And right now he's running in the 16th position in the Dr. Pepper Ford.
He was as high as 8th on lap 82. So
okay, let's fast forward to some pit stops. I'm bored.
Remember in the Craftsman Truck Series.
Round and round and round and round. And they doing so good. Okay, here we go.
His right side is on the bank. It takes the wedge out of the car unloads and goes up the bank, right?
Well, Kyle, they were going to take some wedge out of Dale Jarrett's car, but he said, no, let's go down 1 pound of air pressure on the right rear, and that's the only adjustment we need. 4 tires and gas.
The only thing, though, that I got to check on, of course, being in North Carolina, I don't think it's cannabis safe or anything like that. I don't know what the rules are. I haven't checked, so. That anxiety medicine that I was medical in Florida is no longer, so. That'll be a transition, but it is what it is.
Well, that caution flag certainly helped a lot of people, including Dale Jarrett.
Great about pharmaceuticals in North Carolina, but yeah.
There's the work in the back pits. Kenny Schrader's crew. Now
we'll see. I'm hoping to find something.
There's the car
drops or something. I had a company I used for drops.
Park down there were heavy damage where there was some contact.
That were acceptable.
He became a victim there as the number 12 came up across and tagged him.
Yeah.
Here's why we're under caution.
Yeah.
Contact, watch a 12 car come up
and
tag the side.
It was just really nice to be able to be in Florida and medical and stuff and know you're
brings out caution number
legal.
7 on the night here on lap 169. Back with more in just a moment. setting here in Bristol,
I mean,
Tennessee. Bristol
I haven't
Motor
had
Speedway.
anything
Take a look
here,
at the lights
so.
all around the racetrack, and there are even some strobe lights on some of the towers. There's one on the Benny Parsons elevator. Yes, folks,
Just
that's
drink
the
beer.
Benny Parsons elevator. As the lights creep up there, the Food City 250 signage being shown to the fans as they come and go, letting them know exactly what they're enjoying here tonight. NASCAR Busch Series racing.
Oh,
Now,
no,
coming up
really?
next live, Major League Soccer travels to Mile
Florida,
High Stadium where the
because
Chicago
it was
Fire will try to burn the
tested
Colorado
and
Rapids.
everything.
Chicago second, Colorado is third in the
What
Western
you bought
Conference
was what
as the
you
race
bought.
for the
You
playoff
knew,
comes
like,
to
it
an end.
never changed. It was
MLS
always
Soccer
the
coming up
same.
9:30 p.m. Eastern Time live. That's coming up
As
Mile
far
High
as like
Stadium
the
in
terpenes
Denver,
and
Colorado.
the medicine part.
Getting set for the green flag here.
You knew what
Come out
made
on
you
lap
sleepy, which didn't.
176 out of 250 in the Food City 250.
Black market, it's just hit and miss, and you never know what you get. And I'm just not comfortable with that, and especially after that feeling of legality for so long.
All night, up on the front row, trying to get a lap back.
Yeah, that would be how I would have to go.
You never see Santerre with the second place car.
Wow.
On his outside. This is a tough racetrack, folks. Very
Yeah,
tough
they
racetrack.
kind of do that here
a
too.
really tough
Well,
racetrack unless
in
you're
Florida,
first or
they
second
did.
in line on that.
They utilize
inside or
many
outside
things
line
of the
to get that position and get that takeoff.
plan.
You saw how far Dale Jarrett was able to stretch out on Robert Preston just because Robert sat there.
some stuff they knock the crystals off and use that for their other products.
Elton Sawyer, a battle back for, that was fifth.
But I think being an herbalist, I can
A lot of times you see
look
sparks
into
come up
different
on the
things.
racetrack
I
there when these
can
guys are full of fuel,
get
and when the tire
limonene
pressure is
and
down,
myrcene
and
and
that's
all
one thing you
those
see at night,
terpenes
you
and
don't really
stuff
see
from
during the daytime.
other
Here's Kenny
plants.
Schrader on 4 new tires, and he's gone back to
And I
what
may
he was
have
doing
to
before.
get creative.
On old tires, he's moved to the outside. He's passing people on the outside, and like I said before, he's
Not
one of the-
smoking wise, but food wise, maybe edible wise.
That is for position. That'd be for 10th spot.
Yeah, it needs my
Straight down
pocketbook.
trying to go on the inside of this
I
spot,
actually
but
grow
even
my
Resendez car number 50.
like
Resendez being shown a lap down at
starter
18th
plants
position.
in a
Schrader was
hydro
hoping they'd all get jammed up on the inside.
counter hydro
Right up on the
system.
outside pass, 4 or 5 cars.
I'm trying to think
Those
what
things
company
didn't
made
quite work
that
that way.
originally.
Mark Green, the car number 37, is the last car on the lead lap. He was
Maybe
in 12th
Burpee
position.
Seeds or something. Yeah, it was one of the seed companies that made this.
Back there, the AC Delco
It's
car.
about this big,
3 laps down.
and the water chamber and everything, and it flows all the
This is the battle for the 6th and 7th
the
positions.
hydro. Well, it's got this little water pump, and it pumps all the water through, and it starts 8 seedlings or something, 8 or 9 seedlings.
This year for 10 feet, it was a great year
And
for
I
1998
usually
for
would
Fila.
grow my lettuce and stuff, start lettuce in there, start
Goes in right
tomatoes
on
in
the
there,
back bumper of Elton Sawyer. Takes a look.
things like
Didn't
that.
quite get that run
That
he
bumper
needs.
that we have might be off this car. I see the gold on that one.
You see him in all
But I'm not sure if the bumper came from IRP. It
Elton
might.
never even looks to see what's in the mirror at the corner right there. Once he
So
starts
far,
up
it
the
looks like
straightaway,
it came from
he
IRP.
has to make sure that he's not going to the inside on him when he gets to the next corner. But you don't have any, it's all feel. Elton can feel him maybe when he gets here. When he touches him, he takes some of the air off the spoiler. But he never looks until he's on the
I
straightaway.
forget what the name of that thing is. It's underneath it in my bulkhead on the trailer.
Boy, that is a great example of how the spotter reacts.
That must be Herman.
As Kevin Grubb gets the
Oh, Kevin Grubb with the
right in front of
Virginia.
Dale Jarrett, and when Phil Parsons was trying to come back and get his lap back, couldn't quite get there. He's in 13th spot. But Benny, a perfect example of how critical, as Kyle was saying, you don't know who's behind you. You depend on those spotters, and right there, the spotters were very, very, very influential in keeping other people out of that accident.
Well, that's right. They're talking. He's looking on the outside. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's a car spinning in front of you. Slow down.
Series action here at Thunder Valley. What a crowd on that. And what a gorgeous facility.
Right
Laps
here.
are left in tonight's Busch Series Battle of Bristol.
We're
Back in
running
a moment.
6th, started 16th, so
Jerry
we're doing
Punch bringing
good.
you live Busch Grand National. He lost the position to Tony Stewart. There is Presley.
Wow.
Right in second spot, now back in
A lot of
third.
cars left.
195
Oh, crap.
laps complete.
I missed that.
Now we'll see if Kevin LePage, who channel locked Chevy, can make a move. LePage back in 4th position.
Down the back stretch at Bristol Motor Speedway. See the spark coming up from under the 59 cars. The exhaust drags the racetrack in the corner when he goes down, and doesn't look like LePage has been able to gain too much on him.
Now, Phil Parsons, a moment ago when the caution came out, he came within about 30 feet of being able to catch Dale Jarrett and get him flat back. Now, the 10th car, the Duraloop machine, is a lap down in 12th position. And he is hanging right there, about a minute and a half behind Dale Jarrett, our leader.
52 to go. We're gonna go way faster. Ooh. Fireball.
There is Tony Stewart involved. The second place car was involved. There's a 59 car on fire. Robert Presley, he is out of the car. The Kingsford charcoal machine. There's Presley standing down by the fence.
Do not throw objects.
The race. Here comes the fire crew over to try to
I've
extinguish
never seen that
the
at a
flames.
track before.
In the
Guess
Carter
Southern
59.
Give me something here. Give me something. Turn on something so I can spray.
Red flag, no kidding.
Now, there we go.
God almighty, what's wrong with these guys?
My heavens, the cars involved. Once again, there's Robert Presley walking across. There's the Virginia is for Lovers machine. Or
drive straight up the bank like a train, straight into the wall. These two cars hit hard. He's pinned up against the outside wall. Obviously, he's throwing a lot of sparks, and it probably broke the fuel pump. It's a Ford. It's on the right side over there. Probably knocked the fuel pump off. You see the stream of fuel. And these guys that are behind him had no place to go, because when you see it again, you see how much smoke was there, and there's nothing. These guys finally just had to stop and weave their way through it.
Once again from the
kind of looked like our car spun there for a second.
Stay down low. Hello.
Where's all my brakes? There they are.
Wait on, man. Just watch. There you go.
Yep, this feeder went backwards.
Just going by feet of what sees the fire hydrant. Now here's Elton Sawyer.
And watch this game.
Oh, jeez. Director of NASCAR right there.
Wow. The spotter was trying to drive him through it. Let's see what Mike McLaughlin sees.
Boom, boom.
Man, I see what he's using. Elton Sawyer.
Feeder went backwards there.
My goodness. Now here's Tony Stewart, who stood to gain at least a third place finish tonight, standing by with Ray.
He sure is, Doc. And Tony, we know things happen in a big-time hurry here at Bristol. Tell us what you saw from your view.
You know, the 00 was under the 59, and, you know, Robert was just trying to get around so he could try to work on the 32 car, and, you know, it didn't take much contact. It was just a light touch, and, you know, got Robert loose, and I was right behind Robert, and it got me into him. I couldn't get slowed down, and I got into him, and it just took us both to the wall.
Every week, this 44 car is awfully strong, but you just can't get the good finish.
Well, I mean, I think Joe Gibbs, the important thing to him is that we're running well. I mean, things like this are going to happen, and it's part of auto racing. And, you know, I can't thank Joe and Shell and Pontiac enough. I mean, these guys have done a great job. You know, Goodyear had a great tire here. Tire wear was excellent. You know, we went over
yeah, the
125
00
laps on
again,
the first set of
buckshot
tires.
guns.
And, you know, we had a good night going. Just wish we could have finished it.
And, guys, so much about this is just getting experience, and Tony was doing a great job running up there in the top 5.
Boy, was he ever. Now, let's run down again the cars involved in this, the 10th caution flag of the night, as we have a red flag situation here at Bristol, Tennessee. Tony Stewart, we just talked to a moment ago. Robert Presley. Presley was running second. Stewart was running third. Mike McLaughlin was running sixth. Kevin Grubb was involved. We told
car's used to it here. Same car I hit really hard with last year, the same race. Was running second. Had a good car, great pit strategy there at the end. We put 2 tires on. It was a little bit tight, but I don't know. It looks like just, you know, we had 5 really good cars racing hard, and some idiot a lap down must have got into one of the cars that was in the lead lap with 10 laps to go. I guess he thought he was going to win the race or something. I hate it for the Barbasol Ford. Everybody worked hard. You know, put a lot of effort into this race, but heck, this is Bristol. Great crowd. Got Darlington in a couple weeks.
When that happens, there's nowhere for you to go, is there?
Nah, you know, it happened fast. I saw the 59 spinning. I moved high not to run in the back of the 40 car, and there was a little bit of a gap, and thought maybe luck would be on our side and we'd get through, but as you can see, it wasn't. But that's okay. We've been very fortunate all year. had good cards, and this is the first one we really tore up. So we got 8 more to go.
Okay, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Bill.
Zelton Sawyer, another guy in the points race that takes a heavy hit tonight. Here's Ray Dunlap.
Well, Bill, I'm with Ricky Craven, and they're packing up down here in the New Holland pits. If you hadn't had that flat tire earlier tonight, I think you might have been a contender here.
Yeah, really good. Really proud of the guys tuning on the New Holland car. And, you know, Bristol's fun. It really is. That's why there's 100,000 people here. And there's got to be a red flag in every race here. But thank God nobody was hurt. And we got caught up in it.
Well, that happens, guys. Ricky Craven done for the night.
Guys, I got to pose a question to you. Kyle Petty and Benny Parsons. On the restart, as you look at Buckshot Jones, what does Buckshot do? I mean, what else can he do? He's a lap down. He's on the inside.
He's from Maine.
I mean, in that situation, what could he do?
Well, you see, he's racing with a 4-car. You see the 4-car right behind him. Buckshot is racing with him. I guess he's afraid if he had backed off and let these other cars go that the 4-car would have passed him for position. And, you know, what he should have done, what he could have done, would just back off and let those 4 or 5 cars go by. But, again, that's not, look at Robert Preston. Now, here we're coming off the corner. Robert is wanting to get going. He's trying to get down. Now, did
Robert,
Buckshot go up into Robert, Kyle,
not
or
clear.
did Robert come down into Buckshot? It's a racing accident, isn't it?
It's a racing accident, you know, and it is. And Buckshot could have not gone off in the corner. So
Oh, I
hard,
see
and
now
maybe
why
tried to keep
Tim's
the 4 car
spun.
behind him.
Someone
Maybe
got in
let
the
the
rear
first
of
3 or
him.
4 cars go. That's just a common courtesy to try with 10 laps to go to let these guys lead the race and go ahead and win the race. It would have been a little bit nice for him too. Buckshot has come up in 10 million conversations this year. Every time between Randy LaJoy, between some other guys.
Position here tonight and will actually gain points on Mike McLaughlin, and he'll probably gain 15 or 20 points.
Push the Gould's Pump car down across pit road to get one more lap, which will put him in front of some of those cars who've had to park it.
Trying to do was to get in front of the leader, but
crowd, and what a show they have seen tonight.
That's a hell of a crowd for
We told you that strange things happen when the moon shines in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Bristol,
For a
Tennessee.
Busch
It
race.
has been a strange one
Xfinity
tonight.
race.
And tonight, just 250 laps. Tomorrow night, every single seat will be full. They'll be standing outside waiting for someone to be able to let them in. 130
That's the
plus
model that
thousand
works,
strong
guys.
on this
Keep
Rose
playing
Bowl
around.
racetrack.
See how it works
Smith
for
is
you.
built here.
Keep playing around with NASCAR. See how it works for you. We did it right. That's all I know.
That is the start-finish line. They will go across. The second line, the line closest to us, is the start-finish line.
But there we go.
Yep,
Now,
log another lap.
They just completed another lap because you see this black line that goes across, that's the wire that runs under the track for electronic scoring.
And that will register by virtue of the transponder in that car, so they will be credited with completing 240
And I don't know if they still, I know in 97 in the booth,
foul restart, and I would
we,
guess this time by we should be able to get.
we marked it on a bowling sheet kind of thing.
Yeah,
It was a grid of 200 squares, and you write a time in every square, and that's how they counted the laps. Not a stopwatch time.
coming from a lap down in third.
Yeah, it is. In fact, it's always advantageous to have your pit stall in front of the start-finish line for that reason, so you don't have to push it through. But yeah, basically, yeah.
16 through 30. You see
I mean, I can't do it over and over. But yeah, you get that one more.
As we go back over 31 through
Yeah,
33,
manually scoring.
we'll see that some of these cars, a couple of these cars are still running. Joe Bessie and Matt Kenseth trying to get every point they possibly can.
And remember, Major League Soccer coming up next. We're going to kick it out to Mile High Stadium. The Fire and the Rapids getting it on. Live Major League Soccer action coming up.
That was actually my job, was scoring cars
Here in the final
in 95,
Let's check in one last time.
96, 97, and like since I was 12, but I got paid for it in 95, 96, and 97.
We were in a good position to capitalize on the points, but that's the way it goes here with 10 to go. I mean, they kind of rushed that last incident, so everybody go back double file, give the fans their show, and, well, they got their show.
They sure did, and a lot of tore-up race cars.
Oh, and how. All right, we'll have a 4-lap shootout. Looks like they'll get lap 246 coming by. This time, Jarrett and LePage And Carl Simmons has the green flag.
This is the type of restart that Benny spoke of. They had gone and just went ahead and started as a single file where it went one more lap. Where you had the single file where these guys could get out front and have a good race in the last 3 or 4 laps of the race.
3 laps to go. Kevin LePage is right there. Right on the back bumper of Dale Jarrett. Right on his bumper. Trying to take a look.
I gotta try. Let me see if I can hit snooze on the ads, and then I'll be able to do a 1 minute later. That gives me 13 minutes. That's where they try to run one again. I'm keep missing it because I'm watching the race. It's kind of exciting.
White flag this time. LePage gets a shot on the inside. He nudges Jarrett up to the outside. Here comes Phil Parsons back.
Can you imagine the G's? You must sling it in that.
The leader, Parsons in second spot. Jarrett is third. On the final lap of the Food City 250.
Good Lord, and all they show is the back markers and not the leaders.
And out of turn 4, Kevin LePage and the Channel Lock Chevrolet will take the win. Parsons
Kevin LePage got himself a win.
That was Buckshot in the 4 car battling for the 8th spot.
So we finished P7.
Buckshot just nosed him out.
Once again, the red flag situation has cost Dale Jarrett a victory. Unbelievable how things like that has happened to Jarrett this year.
Great race for Kevin LePage, but you heard Dale's crew chief say, hey, we were good on long runs, we didn't need this. And he thought he could hold him off, but it just wasn't to be there at the end.
Boy, can you believe the clouds that have been following it? Talk about rain. That's white rain. The boy has been raining on his parade all year long.
And he let Phil Parsons get a lap back, and it cost him a second position.
Well, here's a look unofficial at our final results. The 7 cars in the lead left. LePage takes the victory. Parsons, Dale Jarrett, Todd Bodine, and Tim Feedham with the top 5, with Schrader, Wayne Grubb rounding out the top 7. 1 lap down, Buckshot Jones.
There's Earnhardt back in 15th, and watch this, McLaughlin back in 17th. So, in fact, Earnhardt gains 6 points on McLaughlin.
And Matt Kenseth, second in the point standings, will end up finishing back in 34th position, 136 laps back. What does it do to the point standings? We'll take a look. Dale Earnhardt Jr. now has a 95-point edge over Kenseth. Mike McLaughlin back to 175. LaJoy, Buckshot in the top 5.
When Dad started working there, they were like 15th, so that's good. In about 8 weeks, he gained a lot.
Rounding out the top 10.
I think he's going to finish 7th or 8th eventually in the end of the year.
And what was a 4-lap shootout, he made the pass with 2 to go and held on over Phil Parsons and Dale Jarrett.
I've been shortening my streams and doing them more often.
Wow.
I'll get a fun little Love Valley. Just show you where we live.
Kevin LePage standing by with Bill Weber.
Grab a YouTube something.
And a big Busch Series win for Kevin LePage, able to get around Dale Jarrett in the closing laps. How'd you manage that?
I'll tell you, Dale was a little tight coming off the corners, and this Channel Lock Chevrolet was real good on the bottom, and I'll tell you, it was just a good day. The guys did a great job in the pits. We had some help from the Prime Star people. They gave us a couple of tire changers and just kept us up front all day long.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Kevin LePage wins the Busch Series race at Bristol.
All right, just the beginning of the Battle of Bristol. Lots of action to come your way. RPM tonight, 6:30 Eastern Time on ESPN2. Coming up, NASCAR today, 7 o'clock Eastern Time.
Good for him, because everybody got to win one eventually,
the NASCAR
right?
Western Cup goodies.
I got a butt shot. Oops. Can't pause on a butt shot. There we go. That'll be the one that, YouTube decides to pick for my screenshot or something, right? But anyway, here's my way to go. Way to go. Did I just crash my thing? It just disappeared. My freaking computer. Come on. Give me that little square. Come on. Where did... crap. What the hell? I'm on a different Wi-Fi. See it. There it is. All right. Click that one off. My YouTube page. This is where I upload all of them. 6 days ago I uploaded. So I got like 6. I have them uploaded. I just have to make them public from private. I'm just slow. And my stuff, let's see. Motivate Me, Stella. This is my North Carolina. Little bit of stuff here. Let's play from here. This is the town that I moved to. Now this building isn't there anymore. But it'd make a good garden because all that poo-poo. That's Jack. He lives across town. I'd like to run into the little man. He was a stud then. He's been gelded since. No, I don't want to play that. I don't want to play my road trip. It was a bad deal. That's where we were. It was raining like hell when we're trying to pack. Yeah, I love old stables. Let me see playlists. Love Valley. I got a Love Valley one here somewhere. See, I do a lot with YouTube on my own here. Random Love Valley.
This is Larry Sprinkle. Time for today's tiny town, and it's Love Valley, which is just to the north of Statesville, northeast of Taylorsville, in the Brushy Mountains of North Carolina. And Love Valley is interesting because it is a cowboy town that was actually founded back in 1954. It's in Iredell County. And one important part of this, no cars are allowed, only horses. It's a real authentic cowboy town. Population is 90. Area is just a little bit over 1 square mile. Founded in 1954.
Now they're being a little
Andy
dramatic.
Barker. He founded it with lots
That's
of
what
love,
it looks
and
like,
therefore
though.
the
There is
name
where you can't
Love Valley.
drive
So remember,
cars.
if you go
Just
there,
that little
no cars
stretch.
allowed.
We
You
can
can
drive
walk, especially
right up to there.
ride that horse.
It's
Love
kind of
Valley,
a gimmick.
That's today's tiny town. I'm Larry Sprinkle.
She can have all the money.
See what I mean? It's tourist.
All the fame.
Now, all these buildings look old, and they are run down on the outside, but it's kind of meant to be that way.
Start taking it easy with her osteo.
It's kind of meant to be that way for the tourists and stuff, but inside those buildings, they're actually quite nice. You know, like clean and bright. They don't look like they do on the outside, but like I said, it was for a concert, and it was all like for show and everything. So anyway, I'm going to raid out to probably Vader today. So if you want to just hang tight, we're going to send you to Vader. I mean, I just assume he's on. He was on when I come on. There he is. Yepper, we'll go to Vader. He's doing some racing. And I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Bye, peace.
For me, it was less than 500 megs.